In a world that demands your surrender, where mediocrity is a currency traded for applause, the Sigma male stands as an unyielding fortress, carved from raw will and unbreakable resolve. You're not here to kneel to the noise, you're here to silence it. You felt the sting of others trampling your boundaries, their ignorance chipping away at your empire. That ends now. Welcome to the Sigma male community, a sanctuary for men who forge their own path with stoic discipline and relentless self-mastery. This isn't just a channel, it's a rebellion against weakness, a rallying cry for those who live by an uncompromising code. Today we're diving deep into the 11 sacred boundaries Sigma males never allow to be crossed. These aren't mere rules, they're the pillars of your sovereignty, built on the stoic principles of resilience, clarity, and emotional control. Each boundary is a testament to your power, a line drawn in the sand of your existence. Lock in, brothers. This is about reclaiming your dominion and standing unshaken in a world that begs you to break. 1. The Trust Annihilation. Sigma trust is a rare and precious alloy, forged in the crucible of relentless observation and tempered by unwavering consistency. It's not handed out like cheap currency, it's earned through actions scrutinized under a silent, piercing gaze. This trust forms the bedrock of a Sigma's inner circle, a vault sealed tighter than a warlord's stronghold. Betrayal, whether through lies, gossip, or broken promises, isn't a misstep. It's a catastrophic detonation that shatters the illusion of safety. A Sigma doesn't erupt in anger or waste breath on accusations. They evaporate, leaving you as nothing more than a faint echo in their rearview. This is the stoic art of detachment, where loyalty is not an emotion but a structural necessity, a foundation that holds their world upright. Compromise this trust and you're not just debris, you're erased from their history entirely. When a Sigma closes a door, it's not locked. It's welded shut with the cold precision of a man who'd rather face the end of the world alone than tolerate a fracture in his foundation. This isn't about grudges, it's about survival. The Stoic principle here is clear. Trust is the scaffolding of a man's empire, and to betray it is to invite collapse. Every interaction is a test, and failure means exile. No trial, no parole. You become static, a ghost in a narrative that no longer acknowledges your existence. This boundary is rooted in the Sigma's refusal to compromise their inner peace for the sake of appeasing others. They've seen the cost of blind faith, relationships that crumble, alliances that falter, and they've chosen instead to build their world on unshakable ground. Lies or broken promises aren't just personal slights, they're assaults on the very structure of their reality. The Stoic mindset demands clarity and truth, not as ideals but as necessities for a life of purpose. Cross this line and you're not just out of their circle, you're out of their universe. Guard your actions with the weight they deserve, for a Sigma's trust is a fortress, not a guest house. They don't forgive betrayal because they don't need to. Their strength lies in their ability to walk away, unburdened by the weight of your failure. This is the price of entering their world. Absolute loyalty or absolute absence. Choose wisely because once the vault is sealed, no amount of pleading will pry it open. The Sigma male community stands as a reminder that trust is earned, not owed, and those who break it are left to wander the wastelands of their own making. 2. The Focus Interruption. A Sigma's concentration is a laser beam slicing through the chaos of a hurricane, a disciplined mind honed to carve order from disorder. Interruptions, petty calls, idle chatter during deep work, or demands for attention when they're locked in, are not mere annoyances, they're acts of sabotage against their sacred process. Their focus is their empire's currency, minted through years of stoic discipline and relentless prioritization. To disrupt it is to disrespect their battlefield, to treat their mind as a playground rather than a fortress. When you interrupt a Sigma, you're not just breaking their flow, you're signaling that their mission is trivial, a toy for your amusement. They don't multitask. They eliminate, filtering out distractions with the precision of a predator stalking its prey. Your careless intrusion marks you as unworthy of the cognitive reload, a distraction too costly to entertain. The Stoic principle here is the mastery of attention. A man's focus is his power, and to protect it is to protect his destiny. Cross this line and you become background noise, muted forever in their mental landscape. This boundary is a testament to the Sigma's commitment to their craft, whether it's a project, a thought, or a moment of clarity. They've built their mind as a sanctuary, a place where ideas are forged and battles are won in silence. To barge in with trivial demands is to desecrate that sanctuary, to scatter the tools of their trade. The Stoic mindset teaches that time and attention are finite resources, and a Sigma guards them with the ferocity of a warrior defending his stronghold. Interruptions aren't just inconvenient, they're theft, and the thief is swiftly exiled. The Sigma male community is a haven for those who understand this truth. Focus is sacred, and those who disrespect it are irrelevant. A Sigma's work is their worship, a ritual of discipline that demands solitude and precision. Disrupting this is not a mistake, it's a declaration that you don't belong in their world. They'll cut you out without a word, leaving you to wonder why the air feels colder. Respect their focus or prepare to be bankrupted from their empire, a shadow cast out for daring to dim their light. 3. The Autonomy Siege. Sigma males are their own sovereign nation, a self-governing force answerable only to their internal code. Attempt to control their choices, through guilt, micromanagement, or helpful coercion, and you've declared war on their very existence. They don't need captains. They are the ship, navigating life's storms with a compass forged in stoic self-reliance. Dictate their pace, question their path, or clutch the wheel, and you've positioned yourself as an occupying force, an invader in a land that bows to no one. Their retaliation is silent but devastating. They don't argue jurisdiction. They vanish from your map entirely. Autonomy is their oxygen, a principle rooted in the Stoic truth that true power lies in self-governance. Cut their supply, and they'll disappear into air thinner than you can imagine, leaving you to govern nothing but your own regret. This isn't arrogance, it's survival, a refusal to let external forces dilute their essence. You cannot command a force of nature. You either respect their sovereignty or become a stranger to their world. This boundary is a reflection of the Sigma's unyielding commitment to their own path. They've walked through fire to carve their independence, rejecting the chains of societal expectations and the manipulations of those who seek control. The Stoic principle here is freedom through discipline. A man who masters himself needs no master. Attempts to steer their course, whether through subtle guilt or overt demands, are seen as acts of aggression, assaults on the very core of their identity. A Sigma doesn't negotiate their freedom, they defend it by walking away. The Sigma male community celebrates this truth. Autonomy is the heartbeat of a Sigma's existence. To challenge it is to challenge their right to exist as they are. They don't need your approval or your guidance, they need your respect. Cross this line and you'll find yourself standing in an empty kingdom, wondering how you lost a war you didn't even know you started. Protect their independence or prepare to be exiled from their orbit, a forgotten relic in the empire they rule alone. 4. The Solitude Violation. For a Sigma, solitude is not loneliness, it's their nuclear reactor, the forge where clarity is born and energy is renewed. Disrupting this sacred space with needless contact, emotional demands during their recharge, or dismissive, you'll get over it, energy is not just rude, it's sabotage of their core systems. They don't owe you the blueprints to their power plant. Their silence is their strength, a stoic retreat to recalibrate their inner fire. Violate this boundary and you trigger an automatic lockdown, a force field raised to protect their essence. This isn't moodiness, it's a survival protocol, a testament to the Stoic principle that true strength is refined in solitude. Push past the do not enter sign, and you'll find yourself on the wrong side of a wall that doesn't budge. Their return to you depends on your retreat, a silent demand for respect that needs no explanation. Solitude is where they sharpen their blades, where they commune with their purpose away from the noise of the world. Disrespect this and you're not just an intruder, you're a threat to their very power source. The Sigma's need for solitude is a deliberate choice, a rejection of the world's demand for constant connection. They've learned that clarity comes from within, not from the chatter of others. The Stoic mindset teaches that to master oneself, one must first master silence, creating a space where distractions cannot penetrate. Invading this space is not a minor offense, it's an attack on the engine that drives their existence. A Sigma doesn't explain their need for solitude because they don't have to, it's as essential as air. The Sigma male community stands as a beacon for those who understand this truth. Solitude is power, and those who violate it are cast out. To a Sigma, their alone time is sacred, a ritual of renewal that fuels their resilience. Disrupting it with demands or dismissals is to declare yourself irrelevant to their mission. They'll lock you out without a word, leaving you to face the silence you so carelessly disturbed. respect their solitude or prepare to be exiled from their world, a trespasser banished from the reactor's glow. 5. The values earthquake. A Sigma's principles are not opinions, they're load-bearing walls, etched in fire and unyielding to pressure. Mock their ethics, push them to compromise their integrity, or dismiss their non-negotiables as flexible, and you're not debating, you're swinging a wrecking ball at their foundation. These codes are their spine, built through years of stoic reflection and unshakable conviction. They won't defend their architecture. They'll let the building collapse, leaving you outside the ruins. Jobs, relationships, even alliances turn to dust if they demand moral corrosion. The Stoic principle here is virtue as strength. A man's values are his anchor, and to betray them is to betray himself. Cross this line and you're not just irrelevant, you're erased, a casualty of your own failure to respect what holds a Sigma upright. Their principles are not up for negotiation. They're the blueprint of their existence, drawn with the precision of a master architect. This boundary is a testament to the Sigma's refusal to bend to external pressures. They've seen the world reward compromise and punish conviction, yet they choose the harder path, knowing that integrity is the only currency that endures. The Stoic mindset demands that a man live by his own code, not the fleeting trends of the masses. To challenge a Sigma's values is to challenge their very identity, to demand they dismantle the structure that keeps them standing. They won't argue, they'll walk away, leaving you to sift through the rubble of your own folly. The Sigma male community is a fortress for those who live by this truth. Values are non-negotiable, and those who disrespect them are irrelevant. A Sigma's principles are their compass, guiding them through chaos with unwavering clarity. To mock or undermine them is to declare yourself an enemy of their essence. They'll cut you out without hesitation, choosing the solitude of their truth over the noise of your compromise. Respect their values, or prepare to be left behind, a forgotten fragment in the shadow of their unyielding spine. You're here because compromise isn't in your vocabulary. Whether you're a Sigma forged in silence or someone drawn to the uncompromising frequency, you recognize these boundaries aren't walls, they're the architecture of sovereignty. The Sigma male community isn't about labels, it's about the unbreakable code that defines a life of strength and purpose. Feel that fire in your chest? That's your truth rejecting the noise, demanding you rise above the chaos. Let's weaponize the rest of these boundaries and forge an empire that no one can breach. 6. The Self-Reliance Insult. Offering unsolicited help to a Sigma isn't kindness, it's an accusation of weakness, a subtle jab that says, you can't handle your battles. Their pride is in standing alone, scars and all, building empires on self-rescue missions. Try to solve their problems for them, and you're stealing their strength, undermining the Stoic principle that resilience is forged in solitary struggle. They won't thank you, they'll demote you to irrelevance, a minor character in a story they write alone. Sigmas don't need saviors, they are their own architects, crafting their destiny with raw, unassisted effort. The Stoic art of self-mastery teaches that true power comes from within, not from the charity of others. Assume they need your aid and you're written out of their script, a footnote in a narrative that demands independence above all. Their resilience is their identity, a fire kindled through years of facing storms without a crutch. To offer help unasked is to spit on that fire, to question the very foundation of their strength. This boundary reflects the Sigma's refusal to rely on anyone but themselves. They've built their world on the principle that every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, a lesson learned in the crucible of self-reliance. The Stoic mindset demands that a man be his own anchor, unshaken by the temptation to lean on others. Offering unsolicited aid is not just an insult, it's an attempt to rewrite their story, to cast them as a damsel in distress rather than the warrior they are. They'll reject your help with the same resolve they reject weakness itself. The Sigma male community is a brotherhood of men who live by this truth. Self-reliance is power, and those who question it are irrelevant. A Sigma's strength is in their ability to stand alone, to face the world's storms without flinching. To imply they need saving is to declare yourself blind to their essence. They'll cut you out without a word, leaving you to wonder why the ground beneath you feels so unsteady. Respect their independence, or prepare to be erased from their narrative, a shadow cast out for daring to dim their light. 7. The Personal Space Invasion. A Sigma's space, physical, emotional, or digital, is sacred territory, an energy field where their power is guarded. Step into it uninvited, whether by crowding their physical space, probing their thoughts, or flooding their inbox with ignored texts, and you're trespassing on hallowed ground. Their withdrawal isn't passive aggression. It's a stoic retreat to higher ground, a recalibration to protect their control center. Push further, and exile is automatic. No warnings, no negotiations. This space is their sanctuary, a place where their mind and spirit recalibrate free from external noise. The Stoic principle here is clear. Guard your inner world as fiercely as your outer one, for both define your strength. Breach this boundary and you're flagged as hostile, vanished from their radar without a trace. A Sigma's personal space is not a preference. It's their command center, a fortress where their power is preserved and their purpose is honed. To invade it is to declare yourself an enemy of their peace. The Sigma's need for space is a deliberate act of self-preservation, a rejection of the world's demand for constant accessibility. They've learned that their strength lies in their ability to retreat, to create a buffer between themselves and the chaos of others. The Stoic mindset teaches that true power requires a sanctuary, a place where the noise of the world cannot penetrate. Invading this space is not just disrespectful, it's an attack on the very core of their being, a violation of the boundaries that keep them whole. The Sigma male community stands for those who understand this truth. Personal space is sacred, and those who violate it are cast out. A Sigma's energy field is their lifeline, a space where they recharge and realign with their purpose. To trespass is to declare yourself irrelevant to their mission, a threat to be neutralized with cold efficiency. They'll lock you out without explanation, leaving you to face the silence you so carelessly disturbed. Respect their space or prepare to be exiled from their world, a trespasser banished from their fortress. 8. The rhythm disruption. Sigmas move to a metronome only they hear, a disciplined cadence calibrated for maximum output. Disrespect their flow, demanding sudden schedule changes, bringing chaotic energy, or ignoring their systems. And you're not just annoying them, you're jamming their signal. Their rhythm is their lifeline, a stoic framework of precision that keeps their empire running. Disrupt it, and you compromise their entire operation, forcing them to cut the source of interference without hesitation. There are no just this once exceptions. Chaos is their kryptonite, and you become its carrier. The Stoic lesson is discipline as freedom. A man's rhythm is his power, and to protect it is to protect his purpose. Fail to respect this, and you're muted, a discordant note silenced in their symphony. A Sigma's systems are not arbitrary, they're the result of years of trial and error, a blueprint for success forged in the fire of experience. To disrupt them is to disrespect the very engine of their progress. This boundary reflects the Sigma's commitment to their own tempo, a refusal to let external forces dictate their pace. They've learned that success requires precision, a steady beat that drowns out the noise of the world. The Stoic mindset demands that a man master his time, aligning every action with his purpose. Demanding sudden changes or bringing chaos into their orbit is not just an inconvenience, it's an attack on their efficiency, a challenge to the systems that keep them thriving. They'll eliminate the source of disruption without a second thought, choosing order over indulgence. The Sigma male community is a haven for those who live by this truth. Rhythm is power, and those who disrupt it are irrelevant. A Sigma's flow is their lifeblood, a carefully calibrated dance that fuels their success. To throw it off is to declare yourself a saboteur, a threat to be removed with surgical precision. They'll cut you out without explanation, leaving you to stumble in the chaos you created. Respect their rhythm or prepare to be silenced, a discordant note erased from their masterpiece. 9. The energy theft. Sigmas are hyper-aware of psychic vampires, those draining conversations, perpetual victimhood, or emotional dumpster fires that leach their life force. Bring needless drama or negativity and you're not sharing, you're stealing, marked as a parasite in their ecosystem. They won't diagnose your toxicity, they'll quarantine you with the cold efficiency of a man who knows his peace is fuel. The Stoic art of emotional control teaches that energy is finite, and a Sigma guards it as fiercely as their time. Their thriving depends on protecting their frequency, and your static is deleted without remorse. Cross this line, and you're ejected from their world, a threat neutralized to preserve their inner fire. A Sigma's energy is their dragon's gold, a resource hoarded with relentless vigilance. To drain it with complaints or neediness is to rob them of their power, to weaken the very force that drives their existence. They'll cut you off without hesitation, choosing the clarity of their own frequency over the noise of your chaos. This boundary is a reflection of the Sigma's acute awareness of their own vitality. They've learned that energy is a currency that must be spent wisely, invested in pursuits that align with their purpose. The Stoic mindset demands that a man protect his inner peace, shielding it from those who would sap it with their own turmoil. Bringing drama or negativity into a Sigma's orbit is not just an annoyance, it's an assault on their resilience, a theft of the fuel that keeps them moving forward. They'll remove you from their ecosystem with the precision of a surgeon excising a tumor. The Sigma male community is a brotherhood of men who understand this truth. Energy is sacred, and those who steal it are cast out. A Sigma's peace is their power, a wellspring that fuels their strength and clarity. To threaten it is to declare yourself a parasite, a threat to be neutralized without mercy. They'll quarantine you without explanation, leaving you to wallow in the chaos you brought. Respect their energy or prepare to be exiled, a leech banished from the fortress of their fire. 10. The mission interference. Every Sigma has a silent war, a project, purpose, or pursuit that's their North Star, guiding their every move. Belittle it, demand they deprioritize it for your convenience, or fail to respect its sacredness, and you're not just careless, you're declaring their purpose insignificant. Their mission is their covenant, a stoic commitment to a higher calling that defines their existence. Challenge it, and you become collateral damage, jettisoned mid-flight as dead weight. They align only with those who amplify their focus, not those who demand detours. The Stoic principle here is purpose as power. A man's mission is his anchor, and to disrupt it is to challenge his very being. Interfere, and you're cut from their propulsion system, left behind in the wake of their ascent. A Sigma's mission is not a hobby, it's their lifeblood, a sacred pursuit that gives their actions meaning. To dismiss it is to dismiss them, to demand they betray the very core of their identity. This boundary reflects the Sigma's unwavering commitment to their purpose, a refusal to let external forces derail their trajectory. They've learned that their mission is their compass, guiding them through the storms of life with unyielding clarity. The Stoic mindset demands that a man prioritize his calling above all else, sacrificing distractions for the sake of progress. Interfering with this mission is not just an inconvenience, it's an attack on their reason for being, a challenge to the fire that drives them. They'll remove you without hesitation, choosing their purpose over your presence. The Sigma male community is a sanctuary for those who live by this truth. A man's mission is his power, and those who interfere are irrelevant. A Sigma's purpose is their North Star, a guiding light that keeps them grounded in chaos. To belittle it is to declare yourself blind to their essence, a distraction to be jettisoned without remorse. They'll cut you out without explanation, leaving you to drift in the void of your own irrelevance. Respect their mission or prepare to be left behind, a forgotten obstacle in the path of their ascent. 11. The Identity Dismissal. Never mistake a Sigma's silence for ambiguity. They know exactly who they are, forged in the crucible of self-awareness and tempered by Stoic reflection. Their identity is not a vague outline. It's a steel framework, meticulously crafted through years of trials, introspection, and unyielding commitment to their truth. Mock their essence, stereotype their nature, or attempt to fix their core traits, and you're not offering feedback, you're denying their very existence. This isn't a critique, it's an assault on the foundation of their being, a reckless attempt to reshape a monument that was carved with blood and resolve. A Sigma's identity is a hard-won contract with themselves, a non-negotiable vow to live authentically in a world that demands conformity. Cross this line and communication doesn't just falter, it flatlines. They won't waste breath justifying their existence to someone who refuses to see them clearly. The Stoic truth here is authenticity as strength. To live as your true self is to wield an unbreakable power that no external force can shatter. Fail to meet them in their truth, and you become a ghost in their rearview, nullified by your own blindness. Their identity is their fortress, a citadel built to withstand the storms of judgment and misunderstanding. To disrespect it is to declare yourself an enemy of their core, a trespasser who will find no mercy in their gaze. This boundary is a testament to the Sigma's refusal to bend to the world's expectations. They've walked through fire to discover who they are, rejecting the mask society offers in favor of a truth that's raw and unapologetic. The Stoic principle of self-knowledge runs deep here. A man who understands himself is unshakable, anchored in a clarity that no criticism can erode. To mock or stereotype a Sigma's nature is to reveal your own ignorance. To assume their silence is weakness rather than the quiet confidence of a warrior who needs no validation. They don't argue their worth, they embody it, leaving those who dismiss them to choke on the dust of their departure. The Sigma male community stands as a beacon for those who live by this truth. Identity is sacred, and those who violate it are irrelevant. A Sigma's essence is their compass, guiding them through chaos with a certainty that cannot be swayed. To attempt to fix them is to demand they betray themselves, a betrayal they'll never entertain. They'll cut you out without explanation, choosing the solitude of their truth over the noise of your judgment. Respect their identity, or prepare to be exiled, a forgotten shadow in the unyielding light of their fortress. These aren't rules, they're the Sigma Constitution, a code carved in stone for men who live at peak power. Violate one article and you're impeached from their world. No appeal, no debate. This is the price of sovereignty, the cost of existing as an unbreakable force in a world that begs you to bend. The Sigma male community isn't just a channel, it's a brotherhood of men who choose excellence over ease, strength over submission. If these boundaries resonate, if you feel the fire of this code burning in your chest, then take action now. Smash that like button if your boundaries are non-negotiable, a signal to the world that you stand unyielding. Comment below with the boundary that hit you hardest. Let's build this community with men who live by the same code. Share this video with those who need to understand the gravity of crossing a Sigma's lines. And if you're already subscribed, turn on that notification bell to never miss the wisdom we drop here. If you're new, join the Sigma male community today, subscribe and step into a world where we don't bend, we elevate. Live by your code, brothers, and let's forge empires together.